Show me your friends and I'll show you your future. You wanna know why you're all fucked up? Just look at the fucking bums you hang around with.
It's real big when I speak, yeah. Dead presidents represent me. I got a hold on the streets. They say they need more with me. It's real big when I speak, yeah. Dead presidents represent me. I got a hold on the streets. They say they need more with me. Niggas get theyself a limit, worrying about an image. Back and forth with the racket like they playing tennis. Too afraid to be theyself, they need validation. It's a marathon that got me out here pacing. But I ain't breathing heavy, so they know I'm ready. Got me moving steady, I'ma tip the levy. Only spoil me with loyalty. And if they get out of line, we paying lawyer fees. Yeah, he in a cell with a $1 million bail. Living a life only a few of us will let it tell. 25 with an L, yeah, I wish him well. Cause only thing he really want is just to get some mail. From the streets to these beats, my circle complete. No place to go, at the table we gon' eat. Stop paying attention to these niggas, yeah, I'm being cheap. We can go to war, cause with me, I'm at peace. It's real big when I speak, yeah. Dead presidents represent me. I got a hold on the streets. They say they need more with me. It's real big when I speak, yeah. Dead presidents represent me. I got a hold on the streets. They say they need more with me. This is Astro World, I'm in sicko mode. I'm a shooting star, but where do wishes go? All I get is fake love and real hate. I don't know how much more it is that I can take. God on this Thanksgiving, filling up my plate. Popping seals and popping pills probably seal my fate. They say the good die young and I'm getting old. So this must be the realest story ever told.
The least valued part of the game is the heart.
That's the muscle that got you here.
Yeah, but then again, everybody operate off logic. What's good for them?
Sure.
It's true.
And that create opportunities. And that create, lack of code. And you see all type of weirdo shit going on, because everybody operating off logic. This is a good move, this is a good look.
It's a good look for me.
Yeah, but it's codes and it's rules. And that's where the heart gonna stop you.
That's right.
From doing goofy shit and doing, disloyal and just playing yourself for the opportunity.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
For an opportunity that can just fade away.
You're gonna consume the opportunity, and then it's gonna be done, and you're gonna have on your record that the way you got to the opportunity was fraud. And that's not gonna go nowhere.
I got too much sauce, it's just dripping off. I got too much sauce, it's just dripping off. I got too much sauce, all I do is drip. I'm a movie star, I'ma shoot a clip. Trampoline track, make birds flip. Basic niggas still on the same shit. I got too much sauce, it's just dripping off. I got too much sauce, it's just dripping off. I got too much sauce, it's just dripping off. I got too much sauce, it's just dripping off. Seeing all my sauce will make you jealous. I can get fly with no feathers. Put 2 lines all through my S's. Thought on the phone, leave a message. Got social belly like texting. Danny Glover, keep the lethal weapon. All on Instagram and we flexing. Futuristic, call me George Jesse. I'm conceited, yeah I know. Fuck a bed, smash her on the floor. Off the coat, yeah she give me good throat. Sloppy toppy in my Benzo. I got too much sauce, all I do is drip. I'm a movie star, I'ma shoot a clip. Trampoline track, make birds flip. Basic niggas still on the same shit. I got too much sauce, it's just dripping off. I got too much sauce, it's just dripping off. I got too much sauce, it's just dripping off. I got too much sauce, it's just dripping off. Yeah, she had to let her friends know that my dick is like some good dope. She say my name, now her pussy soap. Cause I'm the one she looking for. She got rules, but I'ma bend them no. I'm allergic to a basic hoe. In my born smoking better go. Hella nauseous off the
are here. We are here. We are here. We are here. I just figured I'd come in with some music, get you guys hyped for today's show. I don't know, for some reason, bro, Twitch has been acting up. The internet's going good. I thought because the Mafia-thon 3 was done, it'd be good because whenever Casanat has his freaking Mafia-thon, it's a problem. But I thought it was going to be good. I don't know why it's tripping. But hopefully we have a smooth show. Let me double check. Make sure we're good, bro. This thing is tripping, bro. I don't know why it's tripping. But I would love for it not to trip because I would like to have a good show today because I'm really, really excited about today's show, and I don't want it messed up. I don't want it messed up, and it's looking like it's still glitching, bro. This is freaking crazy. This is weird that it's really glitching, bro. That's crazy, bro. This is wow. Like this is wild, bro. Like, really, really, like, bro, this is really annoying. This is really annoying, bro. It really gets annoying. It really gets annoying, bro. It really does. It really gets annoying because it's like, bro, relax. But the show must go on. Thank you all that are here. We're live in effect. Did you read the headline that was today's show's about? Did you read today's headline, what today's show's about? If you did, this is what we're doing. Today's show is called none other than, right, the government shutdown, right? Who knows why the government shut down, right? Government shut down day one in the Obama DOJ probe. It's kind of crazy, right? It's kind of crazy. Kind of crazy, right? It's getting kind of heavy. It's getting kind of heavy, right? It's getting kind of heavy, right? And for that to happen, right? And for that to happen, it's kind of bad because the reason why I say that is the government shutdown hasn't happened since 2019, and I vaguely remember it. Like, I really wasn't too concerned about it. But what I will say this time around, bro, is it's getting kind of crazy. But for our notes on this, what I do want to talk about, right? And this is powered by Celsius, which they're not paying me, so I shouldn't even say it. But, oh, those two songs, by the way, the first song was Dead Presidents off of the autobiography of Sean Delane Bullock album, and the other one was Drip off of Maserati. I produced, dripped. Of course, I write on my own music, but I produced, dripped, engineer, master my own music, all that. And the other one was a YouTube beat, right? So here we go. Now, today's show, right? This is based off of current events, guys. And so some of this is like accusations. It's not actually, known for the Obama part of the show. But, this is inside the shutdown. Me, Maserati Shellz. Now, today is October 1st. Out first, before we start the show, I definitely want to shout out. This is, hold on. Sorry, guys. Sorry, I forgot to do something. My bad. I forgot to do something. Totally forgot to do something. That's my bad. So today's show is inside the shutdown day one in the Obama DOJ probe, right? And before we start the show, I do want to highlight today is October 1st, 2025. Shout out. It is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Come on, guys. It's breast. Hold on. I want an applause for that. Shout out to all the cancer survivors. It is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Shout out. Y'all should have y'all pink on. I don't have no pink on. Sorry about that. But shout out to all the ladies out there that made it through that. Fuck cancer. That's how we living. Right? So shout out to that. I needed this because yesterday's stream, I was so tired. It was crazy. I mean, I was dead tired to the world. It was just sad, right? But we are back with the notes, and we're going to do good today, right? We're going to do better today, guys, right? And we're going to walk through the fallout. Okay, that's not cool. We're going to walk through the fallout of the shutdown, right? We're going to walk through the fallout of the U.S. federal government shutdown. And it doesn't affect anything if you're making military pay, if you're getting Social Security, that's still going to come. If you're applying for Social Security, it might take a little while longer, right? So that's going to talk about that. We're also going to talk about a major DOJ investigation that has gripped the Washington and the probe into former President Barack Obama's administration, right? Now, is this a Donald Trump petty thing or is it serious? We're going to talk about that, right? We're going to definitely talk about that, right? But here's some quick headline bulletin points, right? The government has officially shut down after Congress failed to pass a funding bill. Now, I'm not sure the breakdown was more Republican, more Democrat in the thing, but roughly 800,000 to 900,000 federal employees face furloughs, other will work unpaid. Now, look, this is just me. Y'all need to worry about canceling some of these student loans. They need to be out of a job. The people with them student loans need to be out of a job. Now, I know they got families. I'm just saying. If you feel like I feel, about these student loans, they need to be out of a job. Just keeping it 100. It's just me keeping it 100, man. Is it just me? Am I the only one? Y'all know I'm not the only one. Anyway, right? With that being said, today Twitch is tripping. I don't know why it's been tripping like this the last days. Maybe it's just weak, but we got to keep the show going, right? But anyway, right? Health, research, regulatory agencies face deep disruption. Like, this is going to mess up a lot of stuff. Meanwhile, the DOJ has launched a strike force and a grand jury investigation into the alleged misconduct of the Obama administration tied to the 2016 election and intelligence assessments. Now, last time I checked, he won. Trump won in 2016, right? Last time I checked. Is that right? That's right, right? So they're trying to say Obama, and I think before we get into the show, I think they're talking about when it was alleged that Putin and all them people had something to do with it, or they rigged it so he could win. It's something like that. This is basically, and I'm thinking to myself, why didn't do this back then? But we'll talk about that. So let's get into the first part, right? Government shutdown. What happened and who's affected, right? Because a lot of y'all like, oh, the government shut down. How does it affect me? Shut your goofy self up. Might not even affect you. The fiscal year 2025 funding was tied to a continuing resolution. When the funding expired on September 30th, which was the fiscal year, so like most jobs, like even my job, the fiscal year stopped yesterday. A lot of companies' fiscal year was yesterday, right? So that's how the government works as well. That's the fiscal year, right? For funding. So Congress need to pass they had to pass new things to stop gag measures, right? They had to stop certain things. Republicans had passed a 7-week stopgap funding measure earlier in the House. The Senate failed to advance it. Now, makes me think that the House probably is mostly Republicans, the Senate is probably mostly Democrats. Makes sense because Democrats refuse to support the clean resolution without provisions restoring health care subsidies and protecting certain social programs. Now, let me say that again. Democrats refuse to support clean resolution without provisions restoring health care subsidies and protecting certain social programs. I think that's Obamacare, right? I want to say that. I'm not too sure. So we all know that the clash between the Republicans and Democrats in the House and the Senate is going to be big. We all know that, right? I'm not going to dig too much deep in that, but we're going to say because the Senate could not count enough support, 60 votes, to bypass filibusters to closure, the funding lapsed, right? The funding had lapsed because it is crazy that just one day, a couple hours, they couldn't talk it out. So imagine this, guys, right? And I want to put it in layman's terms so we all can understand, because I don't want to be like one of the people that's just talking about the shit that we all understand. That Twitch is killing me right now, bro. Twitch is murdering me right now. It's just glitching. I don't know why it's glitching, and maybe just on my end, but it's just killing me right now. I'm not gonna be able to even chop this up. It's gonna be so wild, right? But anyway, I gotta do what I gotta do. Imagine a bunch of kids arguing about stuff that's really important, right? That's what's going on, right? But anyway, to bypass the filibusters or the closure, the funding lapsed. So it lapsed, right? So here's the scale and scope. The shutdown began at 2:01 a.m. So last night, 2:01 a.m. Eastern time, early morning local time, right? Estimated 900,000 federal employees furloughed, another 700,000 working without pay. It's crazy. It's crazy. Many federal agencies scaled down operations, suspended non-essential functions. So simplistically speaking, right? Remember quarantine? Basically that, right? For example, HHS, 41% of its workforce, which is over 32,000 employees, will be furloughed. CDC NHA steep reductions in staffing, research, and operations. FAA, 11,000 employees furloughed, but essential staff, air traffic controllers remained on duty without pay. Hold on. The FAA, 11,000 employees were furloughed, but essential staff, air traffic controllers remain on duty without pay. Now that's alarming. The reason why that's alarming, because air traffic controllers, that means all the traveling that might happen right now, right, is going to be kind of affected because they're short-staffed. Now, this affects us because flying and stuff like that. That bothers me. That's concerning. Now, that's concerning. National parks. Open air areas might remain accessible, but facilities, ranger services, and visitor centers will be closed or reduced. That's another thing. So now traveling to national parks might be limited because visitor centers will be closed or reduced. So if you're traveling, if you're one of the people that like to hike outdoors, you're one of them nature-y persons that hug trees and like to go visit Yogi the Bear, you might not be able to do that. Why? Because they're closed down. Why? Because of the government shutdown, because they're federally funded. Oh, this is so good. Yeah, hey, thanks, government. I'm just kidding. Let me just stop joking around. Social programs, Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security continues, but programs like WIC, hospital reimbursement might be disrupted. Hold on. You're telling me programs like WIC, hospital reimbursement might be disrupted? So hold on. Mothers who can't afford milk, infant milk, stuff like that for newborns will be affected, and hospital reimbursement might be disrupted. Come on, y'all. Now, I know I can't be the only one who feels some type of way about this. I'm not talking about Rich Homie Quan some type of way. I'm talking about some type of way. We all understand, like, this is severe. Now, this might be a little severe than normal. So, chat. Hold on, let me put the chat box up because I might be the only one feeling some type of way about this. You feel me? Because now I forgot the numbers for how many people are on Obamacare and relying on WIC. I wonder what the WIC numbers are. How many people are on WIC in America? I wonder. How many people y'all think is on WIC in America? Probably a lot. So let's keep going. Here's the impact on public and federal workers. And yes, I had to get notes because I'm not going to remember all this stuff to tell y'all off the top of my head to say, hey, this, and that. I couldn't do it. I won't do it. I'm not going to fake it. I'm not going to be a fake and a fraud to you guys, okay? I got to keep it real. Anyway, impacts on public and federal workers. Federal workers in contract face income discontinuities and delayed pay. This is delayed. Essential services remain, but will be reducing capacity and increased delays. That's fair. Travel, airports, regulatory inspections may slow. Okay, now that seems very steep. Travel, airports, regulatory inspections may slow. That sounds like a safety concern to me. Regulatory inspections may slow. That sounds like a safety concern. So if you can't inspect things at normal times, that cause, especially for airports, this sounds like a safety concern to me. This sounds like something that should not be affected by this. But that could just be me, right, America? Y'all tell me. I could be wrong, right? Economic modeling. 15 billion in GDP lost per week of shutdown. White House memo. Hold the phone. Hold up, man. I'm trying to chase a little two bands. When I'm out here just trying to chase a little 2 bands a week, Think about that. Hey, shout out to chat. I'm just trying to chase a little 2 bands a week. Most of us is just trying to chase a little 2 bands a week, which is about 8,000 a month. You know, chase a little 2 bands a week. You're telling me this shutdown is costing 15 billion in GDP loss per week of shutdown per White House memo? States relying on federal funding, especially Democratic states, may be hit disproportionately. The White House has frozen $26 billion in funding to some Democratic-leaning states. Now, let me say this over again because it's going to be very important, guys. States relying on federal funding, especially Democratic states, may be hit disproportionately. The White House has frozen $26 billion in funding to some Democratic-leaning states. California is a Democratic-leaning state. So $26 billion in funding has been held disproportionately from California. It could be rhetoric. It could be cap. Cap. Is it cap or is it real, guys? So let's talk about the economic and political fallout. Economic risks and projections. As above, 15 billion loss per week in GDP. You know what? This is crazy. I have two partners I should have brought up here because they get into this stuff like real deep and they would talk, but they're like very eccentric. And we kind of had like a couple words about some stuff. But anyway, if they're watching this, I would love for them to comment on this, how they feel. And if you're watching this with me right now, chat, this is crazy. This is wild. Like, no, this is like really, really crazy. Like, this is really, really, really next level wild. I'm very, very like, this is crazy. Like, nah, this is 15 billion. 15 billion a week times 52 is wild. Okay. Increased unemployment if shutdown lasts. 43,000 more unemployed in a month scenario. Consumer spending down by 30 billion over a similar period. Consumer spending down by 30 billion over a similar period. Consumer spending down by 30 billion. So that lets you know the consumer power needed to fund our country. So that's some economical you got to understand. The consumer spending down by 30 billion. Credit rating risk. European rating agency Scope warns shutdown may harm U.S. credit rating. Currently AA with negative outlook. Even America needs a good credit rating. European rating agency Scopes warns shutdown may harm U.S. credit rating. Currently AA with negative outlook. Broader confidence issues. Markets, investors, foreign partners may question U.S. physical stability. Bro, this sounds, hey. So, on a global scale, right? On a global scale, let's look at it like this, right? On a global scale, imagine you're the most powerful country in the world. You dictate what happens in the world. When someone doesn't do something right, you tell them, hey, you better act right or else we're coming to spank you, right? You tell people you can't have nuclear weapons. You're not allowed to do that. You tell people you're not allowed to invade that country. You're not allowed to do that. But then now, in your own country, you can't come to agree on something. So your country has to shut down. How does that look? Tell me, how does that look? How does that look to the world? That's what they're talking about. That's what they're talking about. And it's not really the credit rating. They're talking about how it looks, especially to the Chinese and Japanese and the Koreans. They're looking like, what the fuck are y'all doing? Man, get your shit together. These diamonds ain't real. Get your shit together. America first. Get your shit together. I wonder what Nick Fuentes has to say about this. Hey, Nick Fuentes, what you got to say about this? Hey, Nick, what you got to say about this, Nick Fuentes? Hit me up. Let me know. Hit me on the celly. Hey, somebody send Nick Fuentes my number, man. Tell him to hit me, man. See what's going on with this, right? Anyway, right? So, bam. Let's you know what? How do y'all think this looks to other countries? Because to me, it seems wild. It seems very wild. And if you're on Twitch right now watching this and it's very choppy, don't worry. I will upload the regular version of this to YouTube and you can watch it back while it's tripping right now. My bad. We're having one of them moments right now, which is just crazy, but we're going to get through this. No worries at all, right? No worries. No worries at all. Shit happens, but we're big dog status over here. No worries. So anyway, let's do political dynamics and blame. Of course, someone has to be to blame for this. No one's going to openly say, hey, it's our fault. So let's see who's to blame. Republicans largely point to Democrats' obstruction over healthcare subsidies and budget items. I think in my point of view, Republicans are mostly like capitalists. They believe in, they're more business minded when it comes to running America. Where Democrats are more socialist. They believe like, helping, like it's more of a different mindset. This is a different mindset, right? And if I could break it down simply from what I see, it's like Republicans tax the poor, Democrats tax the rich, right? Republicans believe, hey, if you want to be rich, get off your ass work. Democrats saying, hey, the rich people should help us get rich. So that's how I view it, right? That's just me. I could be wrong. Somebody else could say, hey, that's not what it is. That's what you think. So be it, right? I believe work hard, free enterprise, capitalistic state. Hey, make it happen, right? But Democrats counter the Republicans must compromise that include protections for social services. See what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. Democrats counter that Republicans must compromise and include protections for social services. We know what social services is. I ain't got to tell you that, right? Messaging and communications have escalated. HUD's website blames radical left for the shutdown, a striking over partisan tone for agencies' communications. Partisan tone for agency communications is an interesting way to word that. AI manipulated media. Now, hey, listen. This is what I want to talk about, and I'll make sure. Let me mark this. Let me mark this bulletin point. AI manipulated media. President Trump's posted a doctored AI video mocking Democrat leaders. Right? Are we at a point in time, right, especially in the political atmosphere, right, where AI could be a distraction or a tool utilized to taint or mark the other side? Because I seen a reel. This reel was crazy. I seen a reel last night, right? I'm on YouTube, just looking at some videos. I see the reel last night where the dude was trying to say like a pastor was in church. I'm talking about this girl had so much cake, she was sticking in a bowl of grits, right? And said this was a female pastor in church wearing provocative clothing, and it was just wrong, and she was preaching a sermon. But it was AI, and he was just using it as content bait to get people to go to his content, right? Are we getting to a time to where AI is being used loosely, and now AI is entering into the political realm to get people to believe propaganda? Are we already at that point with AI and it's getting dangerous and spooky? Because it's saying right here, AI manipulated media. So can the far right and the far left wing use AI? So he said President Trump posted a Dr. AI video mocking Democrat leaders. Could be true because we know that President Trump utilized social media very well to win his campaign. Very well, like better than anyone I've seen. Right? He was smart for that. Public sentiment polls show 65% of voters oppose a shutdown. Internal party tensions. Some Democrat senators may consider negotiating. Republicans threaten more aggressive funding cuts and permanent layoffs, reduction in force. So, with that being said, right, I don't want to hold you guys too long tonight because this type of stuff, right, is crazy. And after this, we're gonna take a music break again so we can play some more music and just let you guys chill. But what I do want to say about this shutdown, how do you guys feel about this shutdown? In the comments, drop a comment, let me know. Will it affect the average person? Most likely not. If you work for the federal government, yes. Should you still get your paycheck? Yes. Your job, I don't know. It depends if you're like a flight controller, depending on what you do. If you work at the CDC, Homeland Security, National Security Agency, FBI agent, I don't know. Because it's saying that 43,000 more unemployed people in a month scenario. How long will this shutdown last? I don't know. Let's see what the news is talking about right now, because for some reason, Mama loving internet is acting funny, which is saying it have good quality internet, but it's acting funny on the upload, which is actually all bad. Bro, this is so much cap, bro. But yeah, this is wild. So it got to be Twitch, bro. My internet is saying it's like right spot on, like what I need to do this. So, yeah, bro, this is crazy. Yeah, this is crazy, bro. I don't know what's going on, what's wrong, but we're going to do the show regardless. But let's see in the current news what's going on. Let's see what's going on with the current news, and we're just going to go from there. But I thank everybody for being here. And but let's see current news. I want to see what's up current news. Because we're doing current news right now. And like you can't trust CNN because CNN is like, yeah. So the layoffs are. They say the layoffs are imminent. Agencies' activity deemed essential are still open. Okay, so what I'm saying basically too, you know, how long will it last? Senators are leaving town until Friday. Oh, so I didn't see that part. So senators are leaving town until Friday, meaning the government shutdown will last until then, and then likely longer. So that's crazy. So. Okay, so it says FBI agents associates warn government shutdown could imperil national security. Now this is interesting. Does this leave us open to attacks? I doubt it. So it says amid unprecedented range of national security and criminal threats, the organization representing thousands of current FBI agents warned its members on Wednesday that the current federal government shutdown could potentially endanger the safety of Americans. In a message to his members obtained by CNN, the FBI agent's associate said a shutdown could undermine the FBI's ability to perform its duties at a time when the country faces unprecedented range of national security and criminal threats, from fentanyl trafficking to terrorism to violent crimes against children and cyber attacks. The group also warns that curtailed operation resources can disrupt investigations, surveillance, forensic analysis, and partnerships with state and local international law enforcement. Agent Associates Lee said that they also sent a letter to Congress asking mission-critical federal law enforcement personnel working during the shutdown to be exempt from having their pay withheld. Nothing letting the lapse in paychecks can threaten the financial stability of agents. Jeopardize their security clearance. They're trying to say that their paychecks can threaten the financial stability of agents and further risk jeopardizing their security clearance. You're telling me your paycheck can jeopardize your security clearance? Stop the cap. Stop the cap. Nah, stop the cap. I'm not going for it. I'm not going for it. Yeah. I was born that night, not last night. I was born that night, not last night. And I get it. Like I understand that. But nah. So basically, essentially, Trump. Let's see what Trump has to say on this. Normally Trump says something. Has he said something? Hold on. This is what Trump said. He said, well, there could be firings and it's their fault, Trump said, referring to Democrats in an interview clip released by One America's News. We could cut projects they wanted, favorite projects, and they could be permanently cut. A lot of people are saying Trump wanted this, that I wanted this closing, and I didn't want it. But a lot of people are saying it. But because I allowed to cut things and they should never have been approved in the first place, I will probably do that. I wish I could do Trump voice because the way he says things are so funny. But what I do want to do before we enter our next segment, okay, actually let's do this, guys, because I do want to I don't know if they're gonna let me get this off. I want to actually play some content from this. Let me see if I can get this off because we want to talk. Let's before we get out of this segment, I want to play some content from them about the government. So let's do this. We'll do audio from it.
Imagine being able to build an app with your name.
That is not it, guys.
Just by thinking about it.
That is not it. That is not the government
This morning, that shutdown happening at midnight as lawmakers could not agree on a partisan spending package.
By the way, this is the first shutdown in 6 years, and there's some concerns that this one could be a lot different this time around. This morning, we have team coverage. Melanie Allenwick on Capitol Hill this morning with the latest details on that shutdown. Maureen Ume also live this morning. She's in Northwest D.C. We're going to get to her in just a moment. We'll start with Mel.
Hey, good morning, guys. As for today, there will be press conferences and public statements, each side trying to blame the other for failure to come to an agreement. Senate Republicans and Democrats rejected two different proposals Tuesday that would have kept the government funded, with the last tally of 55 to 45 falling short of the 60 votes needed. Democrats want the bill to include an extension of Affordable Care Act tax credits and restore Medicare cuts recently passed under the Republican-led Big Beautiful bill. GOP leaders say those issues can be discussed after a vote.
Now remember, I told you about the Big Beautiful bill. Y'all didn't watch that episode. Go back and watch that episode I told y'all about. No one listens to me ever.
That this ticking clock will not deter us from saving American healthcare. Literally, it's about real lives.
If you want to have a debate on healthcare, we can have a debate on healthcare. You don't hold the government hostage over that.
Bills and tolerance. October 2nd paychecks will still go out, but once federal workers stop getting paid on the 14th, the pressure will become even greater to end this impasse. Now, Republicans say they are going to keep putting this bill, their continuing resolution, up for a vote, trying to keep forcing Democrats to vote against opening the government until they get a deal. And they say that may put some pressure on them from their constituents as well. And we understand the next vote could come as early as today.
Melanie, thank you very much. Well, you can stay up to date on the latest shutdown.
The latest shutdown. They said it. They said the latest shutdown, right? But you do know that what they said. What did I just tell y'all? They said the senators are out of office till when? Till Friday. They've already left office till Friday. So this shutdown is going to happen, right? And it sucks because a lot of people ain't getting no money on. A lot of people with no money on. It's going to be a lot of people with no money on, man. So with that being said, guys, you know, hey, look, check it out, right? It sucks, bro. This sucks. You know, which is crazy, right? And if you're watching this, here's my question to you guys, right? I know it's hard to run a country. It is. It's hard to run a country, right? In essence, if this is about healthcare, doesn't Canada have free healthcare? Last time I checked. But let's keep the show moving, right? I want to talk about the DOJ. Now let's watch this. My bad. I should have left that up. I should have left this up.
Tonight, you're going to learn a lot.
I should have left this up. My bad, guys. I'm tripping. But we're going to get to this. Don't worry.
And with the support and coordination with the House Intelligence Committee Chairman Rick Crawford, today we've released a declassified oversight majority staff report that was produced in September of 2020. The stunning revelations that we are releasing today should be of concern to every American. This is not about Democrats or Republicans. This has to do with the integrity of our democratic republic and American voters having faith that the votes cast will count. There is irrefutable evidence that detail how President Obama and his national security team directed the creation of an intelligence community assessment that they knew was false. They knew it would promote this contrived narrative that Russia interfered in the 2016 election to help President Trump win, selling it to the American people as though it were true. It wasn't. The report that we released today shows in great detail how they carried this out. They manufactured findings from shoddy sources. They suppressed evidence and credible intelligence that disproved their false claims. They disobeyed traditional tradecraft intelligence community standards and withheld the truth from the American people. In doing so, they conspired to subvert the will of the American people who elected Donald Trump in that election in November of 2016. They worked with their partners in the media to promote this lie, ultimately to undermine the legitimacy of President Trump and launching what would be a years-long coup against him and his administration. We're here today because the American people deserve the truth, they deserve accountability, and they deserve justice. The records that we released on Friday that were ODNI records, Senator Chuck Grassley's release on Monday of what is known as the Clinton Annex, which was an appendix to the Department of Justice Office of Inspector General's 2018 report, as well as the House Intelligence Committee's majority oversight report that
Twitch, hey Twitch, do me a favor, Twitch. We're gonna take a small break, Twitch. I'm gonna play some music, and we're gonna set up to bring in Instagram and Facebook for this. I want to bring in Instagram and Facebook for this because I want them to hear this too. I'm gonna bring them in. So we're gonna play, of course, another song by Maserati Shellz. Hey, y'all been great. We just hold on tight, real quick. We're gonna play something real quick. We'll be right back. Hold on. You guys will like this song.
The softness of your kiss, like a rose petal in the mist. I often reminisce. Is true love like this, or heartbreak with my heart in your fist? Or do fools fall in love? Do smart people just slip? Maybe these are love instructions, no small print, evil love.
Try and get the best match on the app, baby. Lifestyle done changed, I'm a sad baby. Hit the block in the cool, getting cash, like. We gon' get it, then spending plenty of facts lately. Pipe game, yes, we were riding. Now that we ballin' cause it's so exotic. I've been feeling this, feeling it so hypnotic. Whether you like it, it's gon' cause some problems. Look, baby girl, how can you say it's all my fault? We both been in it together from the start. They say love compared to shooting stars. It's a two-way street when you falling in love. You say I wanted the women, nah, that's the flaw. When they heard we were separated, they wasn't all. It's like a reality TV show when I'm the star. I don't wanna be the next Kardashian anymore. I've been putting in this work like security guard. When shows like the stage, I know it's all positive energy. Cause all the high sensitivity talk is something that all y'all niggas pretend to be. Try to get the best match on the app, baby. Lifestyle done changed, I'm a sad baby. Hit the block in the cool, getting cash, like. We gon' get it, then spending plenty of facts lately. Pipe game, yes, we were riding. Now that we ballin' cause it's so exotic. I've been feeling this, feeling it so hypnotic. Whether you like it, it's gon' cause some problems.
Yeah, I can tell you a mile by how you walk. We should take a trip to London just to hear him talk. I can protect your love, give me your heart. I could be your light when it's feeling dark. Yeah, Sean told you, yeah, you bad, baby. You wanna chill with me? Come to the half, baby. I know you been acting sad lately, but baby girl, yeah, you know you a bad lady. Fuck the bags and the jewels and the filters. With this loyalty and trust, I'ma kill you. Ain't no limit, baby girl, I'm Percy Miller. Love all on Texas, baby girl, yeah, I'm
hit the best match on the app, baby. Lifestyle done changed, I'm a sad baby. Hit the block in the cool, getting cash, like. We gon' get it, then spending plenty of facts lately. Pipe game, yes, we were riding. Now that we ballin' cause it's so exotic. I've been feeling this, feeling it so hypnotic. Whether you like it, it's gon' cause some problems. Try to get the best match on the app, baby. Lifestyle done changed, I'm a sad baby. Hit the block in the cool, getting cash, like. We gon' get it, then spending plenty of facts lately. Pipe game, yes, we were riding. Now that we ballin' cause it's so exotic. I've been feeling this, feeling it so hypnotic. Whether you like it, it's gon' cause some problems. Yeah.
Man, I'm tired of telling niggas that they still owe me. Yeah, favor for a favor, I'ma send a homie. You ain't even gotta ask, we the motherfucking wave. Can't see you little niggas cause the money in the way. Niggas still owe me, 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 niggas still owe me. Walking through the annas like a motherfucking star, bitch. Maserati is my name, say that and stay rich. Talk to a hoe like a dog, I say stay bitch. 28s on the coupe paint make you seasick. I'm riding high, one blunt and gotta keep the mop stick. And when I holler at a broad, I don't talk, I spit. A 80s baby with some 2000 wow game. Street nigga with some little bow wow fame. Yeah, check out my chains and my rings. I mean so much ice to make it hell when it rain. Overcast, I slam like doors like Outcast. My bitch name is ATM, she spits out cash. Sadiddy pretty bitch like Stacey Dash, but on tape she a freak Kim Kardashian. And I got the fix taking more hits than YouTube. Man, I sticks to the street like Elmer's glue. Man, I'm tired of telling niggas that they still owe me. Yeah, a favor for a favor, I'ma send a homie. You ain't even gotta ask, we the motherfucking wave. Can't see you little niggas cause the money in the way. Niggas still owe me. 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 Fast forward, I don't press rewind, and right now I'm back on my Obama grind. Yeah, kilos and grams like a mathematician. Chef Ramsay, I'm cooking in Hell's Kitchen. Trapping ain't dead, man, these niggas just scared. So it's no wonder why Mozzie gets his bread. And I don't wanna fuck your bitch, all I get is head. You soft like a teddy bear, call him Ted. You lying about your trapping, you just good at rapping. And you fool when you get pressed, I'ma call you napkin. I'ma call you Joe, cause all you niggas some traders.
I'm so 714. We back, guys. We're back.
Brown bag money, yeah.
We're back. We're back. We're back. Well, I'm gonna have to rewind this. Oh my God, hold on. Let's put this on. Oh. Right. Dang, I forgot about that. Hold on. Can I slide over there? I didn't look none of these up. Oh, that's crazy, guys. I'm so out of pocket, guys. Okay, now we're good, guys. I'm tripping because now we're good. I'm glad you guys are back because I seen that we was having a problem on here, so we got to bring other people in. But we're talking about President Obama getting messed with by Trump, right? With this BS. I'm going to rewind this back so everybody else can hear this, right? We're going to bring this back, right? Let's bring this back. Let's bring this back, right? We're going to bring everybody else in here. We're going to bring everybody else back in here, right? We're going to bring everybody else back in here and let them hear it as well. And if you're just now getting in here, the first part of the show, which we already did, was basically, there I go right there. We were talking about how the government shutdown happened, right, guys? So the government shutdown happened. We all talk about that. But right now, this part of the show, we're going to see how what they said about President Obama. So let's go ahead and play that for President Obama. Let's go. So I want to hear this.
Good afternoon. At President Trump's direction and with the support and coordination with the House Intelligence Committee Chairman Rick Crawford, today we've released a declassified oversight majority staff report that was produced in September of 2020. The stunning revelations that we are releasing today should be of concern to every American. This is not about Democrats or Republicans. This has to do with the integrity of our democratic republic and American voters having faith that the votes cast will count. There is irrefutable evidence that detail how President Obama and his national security team directed the creation of an intelligence community assessment that they knew was false. They knew it would promote this contrived narrative that Russia interfered in the 2016 election to help President Trump win, selling it to the American people as though it were true. It wasn't. The report that we released today shows in great detail how they carried this out. They manufactured findings from shoddy sources. They suppressed evidence and credible intelligence that disproved their false claims. They disobeyed traditional tradecraft intelligence community standards and withheld the truth from the American people.
Look at me. They offered me
Okay.
$3,000 for my minor.
We're not gonna look at you, buddy.
This Harvard AI calculator showed me it was worth $85.
In doing so, they conspired to subvert the will of the American people who elected Donald Trump in that election in November of 2016. They worked with their partners in the media to promote this lie, ultimately to undermine the legitimacy of President Trump and launching what would be a years-long coup against him and his administration. We're here today because the American people deserve the truth, they deserve accountability, and they deserve justice. The records that we released on Friday that were ODNI records, Senator Chuck Grassley's release on Monday of what is known as the Clinton Annex, which was an appendix to the Department of Justice Office of Inspector General's 2018 report, as well as the House Intelligence Committee's majority oversight report that we're releasing today, all come back to and confirm the same report. There was a gross politicization and manipulation of intelligence by the Obama administration intended to delegitimize President Trump even before he was inaugurated, ultimately usurping the will of the American people. I'm going to go over the key findings from the House Intelligence report, which investigated the claims that were made by an intelligence community assessment ordered by President Obama and published in January of 2017. First, Putin's principal interests relating to the 2016 election were to undermine faith in the U.S. democratic process, not show any preference of a certain candidate. In fact, this report shows Putin held back from leaking compromising material on Hillary Clinton prior to the election, instead planning to release it after the election to weaken what Moscow viewed as an inevitable Clinton presidency. In the January 2017 intelligence community assessment that President Obama ordered, John Brennan, who was CIA director at the time, and the intelligence community intentionally suppressed intelligence that showed Putin was saving the most damaging material that he had in his possession about Hillary Clinton until after her potential and likely victory. The report goes into great detail about the information that Russia and Putin had, which on Hillary.
Okay, that's enough. That's enough. I think we get the gist of it, right? I think we all get the gist of what's going on here, right? So we can kind of understand what's going on here. I think, guys, right? I think we all understand what's going on, but let's break this down. Are you guys ready to break? Let's break this down of what's going on. So let's break this down. I had to bring some other guys in here to kind of understand what's going on. I had to bring them in for the first half. My bad, play us fuck up. It be like that sometimes, right? It be like that, you know what I'm saying? It be like that sometimes. But let's get back to work. Let's get to work. So, how do y'all feel about that, chat? How do y'all feel about that? So let's talk about this, right? So we just played, if you just joined, we just played the audio of the DOJ investigation. I think that's the lady. I forgot her role. I think she's the Secretary of State or whatever she is. The investigation of Obama and what we know, right? So we already know this is just Donald Trump aiming at President Obama, right? We know this, right? And I'm okay. He can do what he wants. He's the president, right? It is what it is, right? We can't go around it. But the Director of National Intelligence, that's her name, my bad, right? So the Director of National Intelligence released documents alleging that the Obama administration and senior officials manufactured politically influenced intelligence on Russia interference with Donald Trump in 2016. So remember in 2016 when there were some documents that were released saying that Putin helped Donald Trump win, or whatever the case, releasing information on Hillary Clinton. Remember that stuff that was found? Now it's saying that Obama's administration made that up, right? I don't know how to pronounce his name. Gerbert, right? So Gerbert claims that the Obama-era apparatus intelligence agency conspired to undermine Trump's presidency, effectively claiming a formed internal coup, right? So in response, the DOJ announced the formation of a strike force to assess publicly disclosed evidence to evaluate the next steps. Now, why this means so much, right? Oh, she's the Attorney General, my bad. So the lady in the video is the Attorney General Pam Bondi. So why this is so crazy, to get the Attorney General to open up an investigation on a past president is really crazy, right? If you guys are here for the video, so Attorney General Pam Bondi, right, has went on TV today to say, hey, look, we're finna investigate President Obama, right? The DOJ is opening up this investigation, right? Now, what they're saying he's done, right, is federal prosecutors have opened a grand jury into the allegations of misconduct by Obama officials tied intelligence to the 2016 election interference. So you know what this means, right? Are we all on the same page? They're trying to call President Obama treason of the state, just in treason. They're trying to charge him with treason, which is just preposterous. This is dumb. This is dumb. Like, so what they're trying to essentially say is this, right? Obama's sitting there. He's sitting there saying this. Look, hey guys, I want you to falsify documents that says Putin helped Donald Trump. And I want you to accidentally leak it so Hillary can win. Essentially, that's what they're saying he did. And he got caught. Now, here's the problem with this statement. It's 2025. You had a whole 4-year run in office. Then you had a whole nother 4-year. You could have found this out. Why do you wait till now? Why do you wait till now? You tell me. But we can keep going. I got more talking points about this. Okay. What has not been confirmed? No charges have been publicly filed against Obama himself or named senior aides. None of it. As of now, nothing. The precise statutes under consideration: espionage, obstruction, conspiracy, misuse of intelligence, has not been fully disclosed in any public documents. So none of this has been even said. So no espionage, no obstruction, no conspiracy, no misuse of intelligence. None of this has been fully disclosed in any public documents. It's unclear whether Obama, as a former president, could be prosecuted directly. Presidential immunity is debated. So we don't know if he has presidential immunity. That's debated. Though a recent Supreme Court ruling gives sitting president wide protections by the timing and context matter. So we don't know if they can actually do this or not. We don't know that what the scope of a president's immunity is, you know. So we don't know. Even if it is, and I doubt it's true. Like, I just don't get that vibe. And like I said, I don't know what they do politically behind closed doors, but it says it's unclear whether Obama, as a former president, could be prosecuted directly. Presidential immunity is debated. Though a recent Supreme Court ruling gives sitting presidents wide protections, but the timing and context matter. Hold up. Though a recent Supreme Court ruling gives sitting presidents wide protections, but timing and context matter. Legal experts and former prosecutors have questioned whether the public evidence is strong enough for conviction, whether it's more of a political maneuver. So hold on. What they're saying is, if the evidence is strong enough for a conviction, a grand jury can bring charges up on Obama. Now that gets crazy. For espionage, obstruction of justice, conspiracy, and misuse of intelligence. What are we talking about here, guys? What are we talking about here? Right, really? Hey, thanks for the follow, DG Doggin. Thanks for the follow, man. I appreciate that. Listen, man, we're growing over here. Slowly but surely we're growing. And I appreciate everybody who follows over here on Twitch. Because when you follow on Twitch and you sub a gift, that's how we keep this going. Hey, man, I appreciate that, man. Yes, sir. Yes. Because every follow matters. Every gift, every sub. That's how we grow. That's how we keep growing, bro. And so with this Obama thing, right? Former prosecutors have questioned whether the public evidence is strong enough for a conviction or whether it's more of a political maneuver. I don't see the now here. Okay, so when I was talking about this earlier, when I was making this show up, someone made a good point about this being a political maneuver. At the same time, the government shuts down. The DOJ, the Attorney General says, "Hey, look, guys, we're finna open up the grand jury to go against President Obama." Yeah. And so like Tia said, I talked about this on Monday. There are current events going on that are parallel to World War III that it was. So in World War I, right, there are parallel events that Trump does not want you guys to pay attention to. So, of course, you wake up today, the government is shutting down. Now they're trying to bring up charges to Obama, the ex-president, because we know the one thing black people will do is you're trying to get rid of our black president. You're trying to get our black president. Niggas will pay attention to that. They rile you up your emotions. Right? So you have to be careful when you're looking at this because there's something behind the screen. It's something behind the curtains. You have to be smarter than the average bear. You have to be smarter than the average bear. You can't just go for the surface level of what's going on because it makes no sense. You have from 2016 to 2020 to do this. Now you wait till now. But I'm not going for this. But I'll play along for content. I'll play along, right? Now here's the current moves and levers for this, right? Check this out. The DOJ is requesting archive intelligence assessments for the National Archives to trace Russian activity on how intelligence was handled. You want to trace Russian activity on how intelligence was handled? This is via the Washington Post. The strike force is reviewing the materials. If the evidence meets threshold for a grand jury could issue indictments. So now the grand jury could issue indictments. What does this mean for us, guys? The grand jury could issue an indictment for President Obama. Congressional Republicans are pushing for special counsel appointments and public oversight. That's per The Guardian. Meanwhile, critics argue this may be weaponizing the DOJ for political ends, and warns about undermining the independence of intelligence and law enforcement institutions. That's PBS. Now, do we feel like this is misuse of the DOJ? Like they can have better things to do with the DOJ? Like really? Like really what's going on here? You're using the DOJ to investigate President Obama, saying that he conjured up these fake documents during the 2016 election, right? Now, I want to point out something. Now, I have nothing against Donald Trump. I care less about Donald Trump. Like, I don't wake up thinking about Donald Trump. But what I want to say this, right? I want to say this. Exactly. This shouldn't even be allowed. Now, what I do want to say is this. I want y'all to think about this. Now, this is very important. This is very important. Was the DOJ used this heavily on January 6th when they stormed the nation's capital? When they stormed the nation's capital, was it used that way? It wasn't that serious then, was it? Like I said, but we're just here. We're gonna get to the nitty gritty. We're gonna get to the nitty gritty of this because what's going on here is they're trying to blow smoke. They put on a smoke show. It's all mirrors. It's all smoke and mirrors, guys. Don't let them hit you with the 42 fake. And you guys know what the 42 fake is, right? We all know what the 42 fake is, right? We all know what the 42 fake is, right? But we're not going for that because we're smarter than that. Now, here's the legal and institution implications, right? Presidential immunity and separations of powers, right? We all know what that is, right? Yeah, they're always throwing distractions for the bigger one, right? Thank you, Tiff, for the sub. Appreciate it. So here we go with this, right? Appreciate it. That's how we keep the show going. Appreciate it. But here we go with this, right? Legal institution implications, presidential immunity and separation of power. The question of prosecuting a former president, especially for acts tied to intelligence and national security, touches constitutional boundaries, right? Now, how do you fix that? Like, how do we say this is 5 years? No, bro, no, hold on. Bro, that's 9 years later. So are there any, what is that, statutes of limitations on this? I don't think there is. when it's 9 years later? I don't think it is. Are there any statutes of limitation for a president when it comes to intelligence or national security? Especially during an election. So that's the question of prosecuting a former president, especially for acts tied to intelligence or national security. 9 years later. Precedents of political stuff. If prosecutions are brought, they could set precedents for future administrations and raise concerns about politically motivated lawfare. This is lawfare. So you know what warfare is? This is lawfare. So is Donald Trump, and what does it benefit Donald Trump to do this? Like President Obama's not running for president. He's done. He's done 2 terms. You can't assassinate his character. Everyone loves him. So what does it gain? And here's the funny part. Here's the funny part, right? I want you guys to pay attention to this. This is what I need people to understand about politics, right? Who remembers the Kamala Harris when she was running for president, right? It's a video. I want to show you this. It's very important that I show y'all guys this, so you understand the nature of people. I want to show y'all this. Here is the nature of people. Oh, law is definitely corrupt. Here's the nature of people. Remember the Kamala Harris when she was running for president? Remember when, I forgot what they were doing, but Kamala Harris was sitting there and Donald Trump and Obama was sitting right behind her. And Obama and Donald Trump was having a conversation. Soon as she looked back, they stopped talking. When she looked back in, they were talking, laughing, he. They did not look like they didn't like each other. They were having a common, casual conversation, right? Like nothing was wrong, right? Like nothing was wrong. Now look at it. Now look what he's doing. Right? Institutional trust. Intelligence agencies, DOJ, and national security institutions risk eroding credibility if perceived as partisan actors. What is the credibility of these institutions if they're partisan actors? If Donald Trump can play puppet master, say, hey, look, I want you to do this. I need you to do this. And the attorney general hops on this stage and says, listen, treason, President Obama. And President Obama hasn't even released a statement, I think. He hasn't even said nothing. He hasn't said not a word. So where do we stand with this? Like, how do we go about this? How are we viewing this as American people? Because I'm not putting color on this. I'm putting American people. Because we're not going to cheapen this moment as a color thing. This is American people because it affects everyone. When you have an ex-president being charged with treason based on a presidential election, because it was never about color, because the people affected were white and black. So this is an American issue. So don't cheapen this moment. Don't make this a color thing, because I'm not going to do that. Right? The rule of law versus political theater. Balancing demands of accountability with the risk of using DOJ as a weapon in a partisan conflict. So what are we talking about here? Rule of law versus political theater. What are we doing? Because I find it very amusing that 9 years down the line, right, Donald Trump wakes up and says, hey, you know what? I think that when they lied about me with this intelligence, I think it was a lie. Remember 9 years ago, dog? Remember when they lied on me 9 years ago? Man, we need to investigate that because it was a lie. Remember, it never happened. It didn't think in 2016 to 2020 that it was a lie. Or maybe when he lost the election, he could have been like, hold up. Hey, they lied on me. Hey, y'all need to go investigate that right now. They lied on me. It wasn't convenient then. 9 years later, you think they lied on you. So you have your attorney general, Pam Bondi, get the DOJ as a weapon in a partisan conflict to investigate ex-President Obama, to say treason, conspiracy. That makes no sense to me. Like, that makes no sense. You can't convince me of that. It's no way. It's no way, right? It's no way. And you can release documents alleging that Obama administration manufactured politically influenced intelligence on Russian interference to target Donald Trump. He won. He won. Right? Now they're saying the Obama-era apparatus and intelligence agencies conspired to undermine Trump's presidency, effectively calling it a form of internal coup. Tia says he must be getting high that weed had him in deep thought. It must be something, because at the end of the day, for federal prosecutors to open up a grand jury to the allegations of misconduct by officials is crazy. They all guilty deep down. Yeah, all politicians know at some point or another they've done something they're not supposed to. And the reason they know the other person's doing something they're not supposed to, because they've done something they're not supposed to. That's how it is. They all know they're all doing something they're not supposed to. So when they do that, they're like, hold up. They doing the same thing, so let me get on them about that. That's the whole thing. That's what's happening. It's just the pot calling the kettle black, right? And so when we sit here and ask that, it's crazy. So what do y'all think? Twitch, Instagram, Facebook, what's really going on? Y'all tell me in the chat, what's really going on? What's really going on with these people? Because to me, and I got a last topic. I got one more topic. Here's a. Hold on. Because but here's my thing. How far is this going to go while simultaneously meeting this demand for this shutdown? Definitely. DG Doggin said, I know there's a deeper secret than one thing I know for sure. It's definitely something deeper. And here's what bothers me. This is what scares me for sure. If they're going this far, facts, misrepresentation of government funds for sure, definitely. But this is what I want to say. If they're going through this much trouble, like opening a grand jury to indict an ex-president, that's pretty high on the scale. I don't even think that's been done. I think except for with Trump, I think, you know what, guys? Dang, I didn't even think about it like that. Didn't they try to do the same thing to Donald Trump while he was running for president? Remember with the Mar-a-Lago thing and all that? They tried to do the same thing to Trump when he was running. So this could be a slight payback. No, nothing's real nowadays. Everything's fake. Everything is like, bro, we're in the metaverse matrix. All this is fake. To me, we're like in a matrix right now. None of this stuff is real. It's like we're all glitching right now. We're all glitching right now. Nothing is real. None of this stuff is real. We're all glitching. For sure, we're all glitching. 100% we're all glitching. But what I do want to say is this. For them to go and open up a grand jury, try to get a grand jury to indict the next president, they're hiding something for real. And if you go back and watch my stream from Monday, and I think it's called Common Unity, I talk about the parallels to World War I, how it is right now. And I actually, you know what? I think I got my talking points. Let me go get my talking points real quick, and I'm gonna do it. Hold on a second, guys. I think I got them right now. Hold on, let me see if I got them from Monday, because it was real important. Dang, is it right here? I think it's right here. Hold on. Because I can go over them real quick. Hold on. Is it right here? Because it's very interesting when I take. No, that's not it. Where is it at? Dang, that's crazy. But yeah, there was a very, very stark realization where they were like very close to like what's going on right now to then. And it was actually kind of crazy. It was kind of crazy. But I will say this. Hold on. I think it's right here. Yeah, history always repeats itself. And if you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. If you know what I'm talking about, bro, that's crazy. Oh, dang, I had it right here. I forgot what I did with it. I totally forgot what I did. If I can find it while I do this show, I'll bring it back up. But I know I had it. I know I had it somewhere. I forgot where I had it, but no, I had it. As we finish, as I do this, I'll bring it up and I can tell you all about it. But no, what I do want to say is, if you're dumb enough to believe that this is what it is for the surface part, then you believe anything that's happening, then that's on you. But anyone, like everybody watching the show today, all knows what I'm saying is true. Is basically saying that, hey, this is crazy. It's not what I think it is, because we all know, just like I know the simple fact is, bro, it ain't that. The fuck? That's crazy. I think I accidentally erased it. Oh well, it is what it is. It's gonna be what it's gonna be. It'd be nice to go over that again with you guys, but go back and watch it. It's for Monday. I don't think I posted it. I will post Monday's show. It's called Community. It talks about the parallels of World War I to what's going on right now, and I feel like that's what they're distracting us from. Is the economy, what's breaking down the economy, these alliances that's going on, that's going to cause a lot of stuff right now to actually happen. A lot of stuff is going to happen right now that's going to cause these things. And you guys will be surprised how it's going to affect everything we do. And you'll be very surprised. You will be very, very surprised. You will be very, very surprised of what's happened. And I promise you, the reason why I say you'll be surprised is because they do it right in our face. Like, and they'll mask it with, oh, this person's the bad person, or this person's the bad person, or they'll do like the ex-president. You're like, the ex-president? Like, why would you even say that about an ex-president? Like, what does that have to do with anything? You'll be like, oh, no, this, and that. Like, doesn't sound about right. Doesn't sound about right. It doesn't sound right. Doesn't sound right, but okay. Anyway, but no. So before we get up out of here, guys, I do want to talk to you about something that's going to get a little, oh yeah. So I do want to talk to you guys about something that might ruffle a few feathers. This might ruffle a few feathers, but I do want to talk to you guys about something, right? And this is social stress in a culture, in a current climate, right? Now, do you guys all know about the term black fatigue? Do you guys know about the term black fatigue? It says, she says, it almost propaganda. It feels like they're dropping the info out for us to connect the dots. They always drop the info for us to connect the dots. So that's absolutely right. Do you guys know the term black fatigue? So black fatigue is a term popularized by diversity expert Mary Frances Winter's in 2020 book, Black Fatigue, How Racism Erodes the Mind, Body, and Spirit, right? It refers to physical, emotional, and psychological toll of systematic racism on black people, a kind of exhaustion of dealing with daily microaggression, discrimination, inequities, and constant reminders of racial injustice, right? So black fatigue kind of like is basically, it comes out in many different ways, right? It's an emotional feeling of hopelessness, frustrations, cynicism, while racism meets repeated generation after generation, right? So physically, it's high stress levels, hypertension, other health disparities linked to chronic racial stress, right? workplace, black professionals often face burden of educating others with racism while also navigating system bias leading to burnout, right? But the bigger picture, right, is what they're trying to switch this to, right, is what they're trying to switch this to, and I find it kind of interesting, right? And I know I said that kind of fast, but what I want to switch it to, what people are saying for black fatigue, and I don't think you've ever heard it, you can Google it, but what they're saying for black fatigue is this. There are conservatives and I hate saying this word, right-wing people are saying they're getting black fatigue, meaning they're tired of having to walk on eggshells because black people feel like everything is discrimination or DEI or affirmative action. They're just tired of black people complaining and playing victim. They're tired of black people saying, well, we need this because y'all did this, or we want this because y'all did this. They're saying they're getting black fatigue, meaning they're tired of having they're tired of the suffering, tired of that. They said they're tired of that. Now, with black fatigue, right? They said they're tired of how some black people are rude. They're tired of the crime. They're tired of this. They're tired of this whole narrative, right? That's what some right-wing white conservatives are saying, right? But then you got black people who are also having black fatigue as well. There are black conservatives that are tired of black. So there are black conservatives who are saying yes and no, because there's black conservatives that are also saying, hey, I'm tired of black people having this victim mentality, like they can't do it themselves. They can't pull themselves up by the bootstraps. They're tired of making everyone feel like I need the white man to help me. I need the white man to give me this. I need this. I need this. I need to complain. Why can't you do what I did and got myself out of this? I'm tired of holding everybody else accountable. Let me hold myself accountable. I made a change. Why you can't do it? Type of mentality. So it's like a broader spectrum, because the white ring conservatives are saying, hey, we know what we did is messed up, but it's 2025. I didn't do it to you. My ancestors did. I can't help the fact that it happened. What do you want me to do? I have, and it's like a dual sword with black fatigue right now. So what they're saying is this, right? They're saying like, okay, look, what happened to you happened. That was this many years ago. I'm not holding you back. You choose to do this. Change that. And what happened is this, right? Who remembers 2020 when Spirit and Frontline was like the main airline, right? And remember when these videos were going viral of black people like fighting on the plane and acting up on a plane so bad that they started doing background checks and they wouldn't let certain people on with do-rags or face tats on Spirit. Remember that? That's kind of what they're talking about with black fatigue, stuff like that. And like, I don't agree with stuff like that. You can't stereotype or profile someone to get on a plane like that. I'm not with that. But I'm just telling you what I'm seeing online, right? When they're saying with that. And then they're saying that, hey, not everyone's like that, but they feel like they have to walk on eggshells. Then they're talking about like in the workplace, certain people act a certain way. So I've been seeing this term. And if you go on YouTube and put in black fatigue, you'll see a lot of people speaking on that, right? So I'm really just now hearing it. So I want to get people's opinion on how they feel about black fatigue. Like when I tell you that and I explain that, people are saying, hey, and this is on black and white side, like, hey, I personally, me from my struggle, me coming from where I come from, my thing is this, and this is good, and let's skip color. To a certain extent, it's true. However, we have to stop being documented and we have to stop being discriminated against before we can let it go. Here's the thing with discrimination, right? And I was going to tell somebody this, right? We are addicted to suffering, not us specifically, but most blacks and ones who come from not as wealthy as areas growing up. And okay, that's something I was going to say. Tia and DG, y'all are right? But here's the problem. And I think Tia can vouch for this because me and Tia come from the same area. My upbringing is different from the next person, right? My upbringing is different from the next person because I grew up in a predominantly white and Hispanic area, right? A lot of my friends were white, right? I had a group of black friends, but it was a different like environment. I really, and this is just me, being transparent, didn't experience a lot of discrimination and hate till I got older in like regular world, meaning haters, like people realizing I was more intelligent than them, or like we were like competing for a position. And I can't say it's discrimination when you're just competing for a position, because I think we all can agree that You don't see discrimination outright, like head on. It's like more covert now. Like being me, and like I said, I can't speak for me because I have a white name. Like my name is Shelton Bullock. So when I put in an application, if I don't put black, it looks like a white name. So I can't say I've been outright discriminated against, right? And if you talk to me on the phone, I don't outright sound black. Like, so like if I speak to you, you don't know. Like, and I can't say that I grew up in a certain area where I didn't have opportunities. I had a lot of opportunities. So for me, I can't say, oh, hey, look, I went through this. All the bad things that happened, I chose to do that. So, and then all the things that I was able to accomplish, I had help. I had opportunity. So, and I didn't grow up in a very harsh, dense poverty area. I grew up in a suburb that's actually a very wealthy suburb. So everyone doesn't get that opportunity. I understand that. I'm tired of us using our past to stay down. We need to start building our own communities if we have, and that's what I mean. Exactly. So, and that's what I mean. So I'm with that. I'm tired of the whole, oh, what we've been through. Like, I get it. We've been through it. It happened. But so many blacks have been successful. I'm not talking about the famous blacks. I'm not talking about the athletes. I'm not talking about that. We know people who have started businesses, who've done things. So when I hear people, and I've lived in St. Louis, I've lived in Fairfield, I've lived in parts where it's predominantly blacks that are like, that think they have no way out. But you can go to college so easily nowadays. Like I'm talking about college is so easy to go to, and you can join the service. Like literally you can join the army and that'll take you around the world. That'll get you out easy. And there's no major war where your life is at stake. So that's one way to get out. 2, you can join the union, get a union job, construction. You can move your family to the burbs. You can literally point on the map where you want to go and you can move there. I feel like a lot of people choose to stay in the hood because of this whole narrative. I'm a real nigga. I don't want to leave the hood, which is crazy. And I think we all can agree to that. Like, I think we get consumed with this whole ideology. I have to keep it real. And so I understand, like when I was hearing this whole thing about black fatigue, I kind of was understanding like, damn, okay, I get both sides, especially the black conservative side, especially when my own people are like, I'm tired of this victim mentality. I get that. Now, the whole other side, you can say that and I understand it because I'm open-minded enough to understand someone's point of view. I might not agree with it, but I respect your point of view because I'm saying, hey, you might have a point, but you also got to understand one other thing. When white right-wing people say, hey, get over it, it happened, move on. Okay, cool, I can do that. But you also have to remember this. A lot of white people got advantages based on the treatment of black people. What I mean by that is when redlining happened, a lot of white people bought homes for a little bit of nothing in the 50s and 60s. Them homes right now are worth millions of dollars in certain areas that we weren't allowed to live in back then. I'm going to tell you where I grew up in the suburbs. We weren't allowed to buy houses where I live at now back in the 60s and 50s. White people were. So the homes they got now that they pass down to their kids are $1 million homes now, to where it's hard for us to buy homes like that right now. So therefore, that was an advantage that we didn't have. So that is a good argument to say, hey, hold on, I didn't have that advantage back then in the 50s that helped you bubble right now. So whereas back in the 50s and 60s, you could buy 1 home, 2 home, 3 homes, and then leave that to your kids now. And they have $1 million portfolio of real estate right now because you gave them that advantage that my parents and my grandparents couldn't give me. Hold on. Also, the advantage of education back then to pass on to their kids now, that's another advantage. I'm not going to harp on that, but it is an advantage. Now, when they say slavery was 400 years ago, let that go. Okay, yeah, cool. I didn't personally experience it. And they say, well, and I'm not one of them reparations, dude. I'm not big on that. I don't even think about that. But what I will say for that is there's the tobacco people, their kids are still making money off that. They're still millionaires off that, right? And who founded that? Who helped them build that? It was slaves. So I'm pretty sure whoever is a descendant of them people that worked, it's the same difference. But I'm not finna harp on that every day. I'm not finna wake up and do a podcast every day about reparations. I don't care enough. And I know some black people gonna hop on here. Oh, you sound like a coon or Uncle Tom's. Bro, if you want to spend all your energy on begging Uncle Sam for some reparations, be my guest. Be my guest. Let me know how that works for you. Because you're gonna have a hard day. You're gonna have a hard day begging him for something. Because what I tell you, what I would rather have is the opportunity to go out there in the world and make something happen for myself. Because instead of you giving me, okay, let me ask you a question, guys, because we're here and we're having a good conversation. I love this conversation. Would you rather someone spoon feed you or get out of your way and let you do whatever you want? So instead of you spoon feeding me, give me the opportunity. Just get out of my way. Don't stop me. Let me do me. Because right now in 2025, you have the opportunity with a high school diploma to go out to a job and just learn real lifetime skills and get a good job. And before a lot of the right-wing conservatives, Tia said on Facebook, Tia said blacks are so strong, inventive, and resilient that we can catch up if we work together. That's why they keep us drugged up and feeling sorry for ourselves. Here's the problem. And a lot of black people ain't gonna like when I say this. The biggest problem with black people, and this is, I'm talking straight up, this is straight to black people. And this is one of the things that the right-wing conservatives said about black people that I agree with. And I'm sorry, y'all gonna get mad at me. I'm just keep it real. If black people learn how to get off of smoking weed and drinking all the time and get back to the family unit and go back to church and put God first, we would be better off. I'm just gonna keep it real. If we put down the alcohol and the weed and pick up our Bibles, get back to God and get back to the family unit, we would be better. If we understood what building businesses and building communities meant, we would be better. And that's just truth. We would just be better. We care more about smoking weed and drinking, fornicating, than having a family and putting God first. If we got back to going to church every Sunday and going to Bible study, going to youth ministry, going to prayer group, going to choir practice, and being with one woman, one man, not having kids out of wedlock, not drinking and smoking, we'd be better off. But we don't care about that type of stuff. Because why? We want to be cool. And I listen. I'm very open-minded. I listen to anyone who has something to say. I'll see whether it's, I make sure it's intelligent, it's actually got some sense. But when I'm listening to someone say that, I'm like, damn. We can complain about who's blocking us. We can complain about what they don't do for us. But here we are spending money on weed. We smoke so much weed. We spend so much money on weed and care about weed so much, they legalized it. I want you to think about that. Weed was not legal at one time. We spent so much money. We love weed so much, they legalized it. Hold up. We want to slow them down. Let's legalize weed. They don't care. And they say weed is a gateway drug. It make them forget. It make them docile. Might as well. Alcohol is already legal. That's all they gonna do. Then we glorify drugs. That's a whole nother thing. So you're not even sober enough to make cognitive decisions. And then your frontal lobe don't even fully develop till you're 25. So if you're under 25 doing drugs and drinking, you're already damaging to make cognitive comprehension skills. So you don't even know what to do. You can't even make a right decision. So now here we are. And now when someone comes and tells y'all, and I understand it. Look, I get it. I understand it 100%. When a white person tell you something, it sounds racist because it's coming from a white person. When a black person tell you something, he's an Uncle Tom, he's a coon. So can't nobody tell us nothing. And we can't even work together. And I'm going to tell you why. If I was to go open up a burger stand right now, and if I open up a burger stand, it would be a vegan burger stand, healthy for the people. And I could say I'm donating 15% back to a charity. you would not support it. Why? Because you know me and I'm black. You wouldn't want to see another nigga make it out before you. But if an Asian, Korean, Middle Eastern came and opened up a burger stand in your community, you're going to go support it. Why? Because it tastes better, it tastes good, and you want to support them. And you know how I know this? Because in every hood, there's an Asian nail shop, there's an Asian liquor store, there's a Middle Eastern convenience store, and you support it like crazy. You go there first before anything. And that's how it is. And you know how I know that's true? Because we say Asians don't like us, Middle Easterns don't like us, they treat us bad, they look at us crazy. That's what it was in Minister Society, but we still spend our money there. You know that. But you still will spend your money there. Why? Tell me why. Help make it make sense. I'm waiting. It doesn't make sense to me. Like I said, I'm just one person. I do this podcast that hopefully I'll reach somebody to say, hey, you know what? This guy's making sense. Because if I hopped on here talking goofy stuff about Cardi B and Amigos and doing goofy stuff like drinking fucking weird food or eating hot wings and just jumping around being goofy, you would listen and like, oh yeah, he's cool. But when I tell y'all real stuff that makes sense, that people are looking at us a certain way, it bothers people. It bothers people because why? It attacks them and say, hold up, I am acting goofy. I am acting dumb. But it's all right. God is good. But just think about that. Oh, yeah. They, like Tia said, or they go and they don't want to pay the price. They want the hookup. You don't ask for the hookup at Gucci. You don't ask for the hookup at Louis. You don't ask for the hookup at Roof Chris. You don't ask for the hookup at Fleming's or Maestro's. Y'all love paying. See, as a people, and I'm talking to black people because I'm black. When y'all go buy a Gold Yard or Chanel bag, y'all brag about paying that price. Y'all brag about paying designer price. When y'all go get them new J's that dropped, them 11s that dropped today, yes, some 11s just dropped today. Them white and blue 11s, they dropped today. Sold out. $230 dropped today. Dropped today. How many black people you think went and bought those J's? Dropped today. Dropped today. Y'all brag about that. But when a local black person open up something, y'all, oh man, hook me up, give me that. Why? Why? Black people gotta beg black people to support them. Why? Why is that? Somebody help me understand that. Why? And then when black people do make it, when we do make it, and they say, man, how did you make it, bro? Man, my boy helped me. And when they show their boy, he's not black. He ain't black. He might have one black person, but it's normally a white, middle, someone of not his color. Or when they show and it's not towards none of the ladies. So don't give me, ladies, it's not towards y'all. Sometimes it be a black lady, sometimes it don't be a black lady. Sometimes it just be different. But sometimes the support systems do not come from people that look like you. And I don't know why. I'm not saying a particular reason. It just comes from people who don't look like you. And I'm not saying no particular reason why. I'm just saying we have the tendency not to support each other. I don't know why. Anybody know why? I don't know why. It just be like that sometimes. And it's okay because nobody's perfect. Like, I can't sit there and say, oh, I got it figured out. I don't know why. But black fatigue is real, right? Black fatigue is real. And let me ask y'all a question, because we almost up out of here. I don't like to keep y'all too long. Have you ever just been out in public and you seen other black people doing something that's just so embarrassing? You be like, damn, like what the fuck is they doing? Because it happens to me. And I just be sitting there like, what the fuck is they doing? A lot of times it be what they be wearing. I be like, what the fuck? Like, I catch myself because I be like, I can't judge nobody, but it's like, I know you seen yourself before you came out the house. It is just be wild. Shit just be wild. Shit just be wild. It just be wild, man. But before we get up out of here, man, I do think everybody who shows up this full episode. If you didn't catch the first half of this episode, which was kind of choppy. So this is why the first part of the episode was choppy, guys. Is whenever Constantine has the Mafia-thons, he's a big streamer. I'm not. Twitch start acting funny, right? We need more unity and less competition. Like you said, they don't want to be led. Yeah, no, listen. Oh, I'm going to tell you something right now. We need more unity and less competition. Like you said, they don't want to be led. You know what's so crazy about her saying that? You know what's crazy about Tia saying that? I did some research. When she said black people don't want to be led. I did some research. Do you know what the Congressional Black Caucus is? Do you know what the Congressional Black Caucus is? I did some research, right? I'm glad you said that because you reminded me to bring that up, this thing. So I'm always doing some type of research, right? And so I was doing some research of mayors of black cities. I did a research of how many, the most populated black cities, the condensed black cities, right? The cities that had the most black population in their mayor, right? So we'll go through this. It's the end of the show. I won't get too much into this, but the cities who had the most black population, right? And the highest black percent of people in one city was Detroit, Michigan. 80.4% of people in there was black. The president was white, Mike Duggan. The rest were all black mayors. Memphis, Tennessee, 63% black, Paul Young. Baltimore, 60.4% black, Brandon Scott. New Orleans, 57%, LaToya Cantrell. Newark, New Jersey, 53.2%, Raz, I don't know how to say last name, Braca, I don't know how to say it. Baton Rouge, Louisiana, 55%, Sharon Broome. Augustus, Georgia, Garnett Johnson. Birmingham, Alabama, 69%. Randall Woodfin. Montgomery, Alabama, 61%. Stephen L. Reed. Jackson, Mississippi. Shout out to Jackson, Mississippi, man. 80.5%. Chokui Atura Lubua. I think I said it right. Savannah, Georgia, 51.4%. Van Johnson. So I was like, okay, cool. So then I was like, okay, bam, I wanted to go. I was curious, I want to take this to the next level. I'm like, bro, I really want to touch our black people and like really get people going with this. I really feel like I have what it takes to really kind of go to these places and say, hey, I'm a black man that grew up in a predominantly white suburb. I got an education. I made some mistakes. I really want to see how we can bring our community together. Like, if I could take my experience in life and talk to us, how can we make our community better, right? And so I was like, man, I can go around and do all this stuff, right? So I was asking questions, right? So then I was like, I said, I looked up some stuff. Where is it at? Hold on. Did I erase it by accident? Hold on. See, my stuff be erasing. Hey, did he erase? Okay. Hold on. Oh, here it is. So then I said, hey, the Congressional Black Caucus, right? I said, who's all on I said, what's the age? I said, who's on the Congressional Black Caucus, right? So I was like, it goes, here's a summary of who's in the Congressional Black Caucus and the leadership is structured, right? Here it is. It's 62 members. But these are the main members. The chair was Yvette D. Clarke from New York. Vice chair was Tony Carter. Second vice chair was Lucy Macbeth. Secretary was Marilyn Strickland. Whip was Sydney, I don't know how to say her name. The parliamentarian was Jennifer, and the member at large was Gabe, right? Now, in the 119th Congress, 2025 to 2027, Black Caucus has a record of 62 members, right? 62 members. The Congressional Black Caucus has 62 members. I want y'all, 62 members, right? Now, Take a wild guess. Take a wild guess, guys. Take a wild guess. The average age of the Congress, and these is the Congressional Black Caucus, the average age at the start of the 119th Congression, the average age of the House members were 57.9 years of age. For the senators, right, the House members, right, so the Congressional Black Caucus is the black people that are either House members or Senate members combined. So that's the Congressional Black Caucus. So all the black people that are in the House, that are in the Senate, right, that help make these laws that control the country, right? The average age of the House members was 57.9 years of age. The average age for the senators was 63.9 years of age, right? Which is crazy, right? Maxine Waters, longest reigning, she's 87. Maxine Waters is 87 on the Congressional Black Caucus. She is 87 years of age, right? Which is crazy, but we're gonna get deeper into that, right? So I asked, how many people on the Black Caucus are in their 40s or 30s? Because the point I'm trying to show here is leadership. Are we passing the torch for leadership in the black community? Or are we holding it, saying, oh, you know what, I don't want to give it up? There's only 3 people on the Congressional Black Caucus that are in their 30s or 40s. Gabe Amo, Richie Torres, and Lauren Underwood. 38, 37, and 39. From Rhode Island, New York, and Illinois. That's it. That's all. Which is crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. Is that not crazy, or am I tripping? Is that crazy, or am I tripping? Why do we have such a problem passing the torch in the black community? So on the Congressional Black Caucus, there's only 3 representatives. They're all from the House reps. They're all U.S. House representatives. One's from Rhode Island, which is Gabe Amo. One's from New York, which is Richie Torres. And one is Lauren Underwood. She's a rep from Illinois. They're all in their 30s. Every other congressional from the Black Congress is either 57.9 years old or their 60s. Why is that? Somebody make it make sense. Somebody please make it make sense to me. Somebody help me out here. Before I'm not gonna hold y'all up too much longer. Because I'm trying to figure out if we're trying to be progressive. Yeah, Dr. Umar's absolutely right. We don't want to pass the torch because we want to hold on to this power. Older blacks, like they feel like this is their youth, the power. They don't want to pass it to hell. Like, bro, if we're going to be innovative and creative and move to the future, we have to pass the torch by teaching us, okay, pass on these ideologies, pass on this way of living, these things, and let us lead. Go ahead and sit down, let us lead. But there's 62 members. So if we only have 3 in their 30s, there's 59 more members, right? Now, granted, do we have 59 more young leaders that could go to the Congressional Black Caucus? I don't know. I think we do, because there's a lot of black mayors throughout the country, and there's a lot. I didn't realize a lot of these black mayors were young, by the way, in these cities. But also, there's a mayor actually who was just arrested in South Fulton in Georgia too about some BS too. I forgot his name. His name is hold on. I forgot his name too. He was just arrested too on some BS. But the point I'm trying to make here is this, right? In the black community, right? Are we really as a collective trying to grow, show strength, and actually empower each other, right? Or are we just here? Because it gets confusing sometimes. It gets confusing. What are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing? And so Tia says on Facebook, guys, even in the carpenters union, they tell us to build up the apprentice. They will be the ones paying our retirement. That is so true. So listen, that is so true, guys. So let me tell you about this, about showing love to the ones that come after you and not being haters. Oh yeah, I cut my hair. You didn't know that? Yeah, I cut my hair. So in the union, right? This is how the union works. When you retire in the union, you have to train the ones after you to be good because they pay into the union that's paying your pension. So as somebody in the union, when you retire, they pay into the union, which pays your retirement. So if you don't train them right and they don't do good and the union falls off, that means your pension falls off. Yeah, I cut like 2 weeks ago. So what are we teaching the people behind us, especially in our community? Because I see a lot of hate, like a lot of OG niggas don't fuck with the young people because, oh, they acting like this. What have you trained them? That's why I literally, and that's why I changed the mission statement for my nonprofit. Like I changed the mission statement of my nonprofit because I seen a lot of this division in our community, a lot of division with a lot of people based on this hater stuff, right? And not to say I'm perfect, because I'm not perfect, but I'm willing to try something new. I'm willing to try to do different things because I see a lot of people don't want to see the next person grow, which is weird to me. Like, to me, if I learn how to do something, I want you to learn how to do something. If I'm doing something, I want you to do something. Not because I can benefit from it, just because I like seeing people win. I'm far from a hater, bro. If I see you winning, that's cool. Maybe I can learn something from you. If I see you do it good, I can learn from you. Most people don't want to learn from nobody because everybody know everything. So that's the biggest problem people have, right? And I'm not gonna hold y'all up too much because I know actually this is not a late podcast. Normally I'm on here longer, but it's a good show. So what I will say is this. You have to understand where you're going in life, what you want to do. And the reason why we're talking about passing the torch, it's just like having a kid, like having a son. You teach your son the things you know as a man, so he'll be a better man. And I just feel like, and I haven't done my research on all the people on the Congressional Black Caucus. I'm trying to do it slowly, but I feel like there's a lot of young black politicians, a lot of black mayors that are coming up that they could teach, that they could help. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like people are just so caught up in themselves. Like they don't want to get, like, for me, if someone asked, hey, how do you do a podcast? How do you hook up the equipment? How do you hook up the cameras? How do you do this? I would show them everything. I don't withhold knowledge. To withhold knowledge, I think is a sin. To withhold knowledge is a sin. That's crazy. That is crazy. That is worse than I don't know what. So to me, that's wild. I don't think no one should do that. I think that's very foul. I think that you're a foul person to do that. Because we're all here to do something. We're all here to learn something. We're all here trying to be a better person. So with that being said, guys, what are we doing? And you know what, guys? What I do want to do before we get up here, we're gonna play some Instagram. Hey, Instagram, I gotta go Instagram. We're gonna leave Instagram because I want to play some music and I can't play it on Instagram. I think I could play it on Facebook, but we're gonna leave Instagram because we can't play it on Instagram. I could play some on Twitch for sure. I think I can play some on Facebook. We're going to play some music. Hey, Instagram, you guys got to go. Sorry. If you want to hear some music. Hey, listen, if you're on Instagram and you want to hear the music, I need you guys to go to Twitch. The link's in my bio. The link's in my story. Sorry, guys. We got to go. Yeah, Instagram be tripping, guys. So we're going to play some music. Instagram be tripping. Phone all hot. But chat, check this out. Hey, I wonder, is there a moral dilemma? Like, chat, is there a moral dilemma being a politician? Could you see yourself as a politician, or is there a moral dilemma? A moral dilemma. I feel like I could be a good politician, but would they question my morals? Like, would they make me question them? Also, look up. Also, if you're in the chat, look up Black Fatigue so you can see what I was talking about. But we finna listen to some music, guys. Y'all let me know if y'all. I'm finna play some of mine because it's my show. I get to do that. But that's the benefit of having your own show. But I'm just playing old stuff because we're gonna take a break for a little bit before we get up out of here. We're gonna play a little bit before we get up out of here. Enjoy. We're gonna.
If they say they won't pressure, man, let a nigga know. No slide with the heat, do a nigga so cold. Real trap nigga, yeah, I got it out the stove. Shout out to my slang, he gon' wipe a nigga nose. Sticking to the script and I ain't never ever fold. Ever since the juvenile, stuck to the cheat code. Pack came, man, plus hit another load. If a nigga won't smoke, man, let a nigga know. Real street nigga, I ain't worried about what he do. I remember trapping in that vape in the diesel. Slaving on the block, moving rocks like a Hebrew. Leaving sleeping with the fishes, turning niggas seafood. All you gotta say is smoke and we popping up. Niggas get pop if for being too popular. See it far away, yeah, the money got binoculars. See my first body, yeah, they came before it's Nautica. Thought of that to swap me now, nigga, wear designer. I can see the future, man, I'm just being honest. Graduated from the street, a nigga got some honor. Never turned on the game, nigga, yeah, I promise. They say they won't pressure, man, let a nigga know. No slide with the heat, do a nigga so cold. Real trap nigga, yeah, I got it out the stove. Shout out to my slang, he gon' wipe a nigga nose. Sticking to the script and I ain't never ever fold. Ever since the juvenile, stuck to the G code. Pack came, man, plus hit another load. If a nigga won't smoke, man, let a nigga know. Feeling like a faucet, I be talking to the bosses. I was drinking Deuce when he tried to double crosses. Got him head for a bargain like a nigga shop at Target. Got love in the streets, but it turn a nigga heartless. Subs on the gram, dude, that nigga won't smoke. Stand up in his chest, he gon' tell a nigga no. Slimy ass crib, so you already knows. On the dead low, I wipe a nigga nose. Anywhere I go, I gotta tap in with the streets. Hot boy summer, I'ma smack them with the heat. They was sleeping in me, yeah, ZZZ. Then I woke their ass up, now they see that I'm a beast. If they say they won't pressure, man, let a nigga know. Don't slide with the heat, do a nigga so cold. Real trap nigga, yeah, I got it out the stove. Shout out to my slang, he gon' wipe a nigga nose. Sticking to the script and I ain't never ever fold. Ever since the juvenile, stuck to the G code. Pack came, man, plus hit another load. If a nigga won't smoke, man, let a nigga know. Came through, fly all white like a seagull. Fucked on this bitch, double back and made a single. He a fraud, he a lame nigga, we is not evil. Put respect on my name for a nigga get evil. Real trap nigga, I was whipping out the pirates. Real hood nigga, I be chillin' in the projects. Feel like Wayne, cause the nigga steady mobbing. Stay with my buddy like Batman and Robin. Can't fuck with Dom, he be talking to the people. Can't fuck with Curly, cause he really miss Pearly. They treat a nigga different when you fly and you shine. If you fuck with my slime, then a nigga don't slide. They say they won't pressure, man, let a nigga know. No slide with the heat, do a nigga so cold. Real trap nigga, yeah, I got it out the stove. Shout out to my slang, he gon' wipe a nigga nose. Sticking to the script and I ain't never ever fold. Ever since the juvenile, stuck to the G code. Pack came, man, plus hit another load. If a nigga won't smoke, man, let a nigga know.
So crazy story. I made that beat. And that's the partner Cash Cali on that. Shout out to him. What else we got? What up?
Yeah, we getting back to it. Well, Vegas too. Yeah.
Shout out Big Boogie. Shout out. Bitch, I'm Big Dude. What she say? She say, Mozzie, boy, stop bitching. Ho, I'm not your last nigga. No, that's your past nigga. I'm Big Daddy, smash quicker. Damn, lil' mama, find a way you bend your ass bigger. Body strike tigger. She eat dick with white Skittles. This is mixtape shit. You know how you just remix shit.
Shout out everybody knowing Vegas too.
She say, what she say?
Yeah,
fuck with me. She say, Mozzie, boy, stop bitching. Ho, I'm not your last nigga. That's your past nigga. I'm Big Daddy, smash quicker. Damn, lil' mama, find a way you bend your ass bigger. Body strike tigger. She eat dick with white Skittles. Sliding with the demons, and I got lil' mama nervous. If that bitch give up the pussy, then you know it's closed curtains. Fuck up to some Drake, then I'm skeeting on her face. Chicken wings and fries, we don't take these hoes on dates. Man, no way I beat that pussy up. She think I'm trying to hurt her. No, I'm trying to find out if lil' mama real squirter.
Yeah, gave a dope dick
off the perks, yeah, I'm sick. Demon time, baby, tell me, can you handle this? Put a thick ass on the counter, eat the pussy, then I pound her. Check the number, then I close her, treat her like a out-of-towner. Yeah, I'm a liar and I really don't care. Tell these hoes anything that they wanna hear. Yeah, I had to keep it peak. She could do that shit to me. Made this game made free. You see how these hoes be? Man, I like my bitches ratchet with a little bit of practice. Freako on the street when out in public, she act classy. She swallow dick like Advil. Her head game is mad real. Caught her ass on camera, now her sucking dick my ad lib. Shout out Big Boogie. Shout out Big Boogie. Say, bitch, I'm big dude.
She say, Mozzie, boy, stop bitching. Ho, I'm not your last nigga. No, that's your past nigga. I'm Big Daddy, smash quicker. Damn, lil' mama, find a way you bend your ass bigger. Body strike tigger. She eat dick with white Skittles. Eat it up.
We just in here. I kind of miss making music some days.
Yeah.
Some days.
With me. Bitch, I'm big dude.
Some days I miss making music. Some days I miss making music. Some days I don't. I wonder what. One more song and then we out of here. What's the next song? Let's see. I know, not that song. 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 I want a good song for our going out song. It has to be a good song. No, it has to be a good song. Okay, we'll do this. For this is the last song before we get up out of here. It's one of my favorite songs. This is a song we're going out to. This is a song we're going out to.
All I ever need is you. Drop the top in the city as you fucking with me. Let them other niggas know that you fucking with me. Driving fast while I'm rubbing on your kitty. You call me baby Big Papa like I'm Biggie. Ooh wee, I love it when we in the city cruising. Baby, it's nothing new. You do what you do. I love that too. I give you everything you ever want, anything you ever need. Tell them motherfuckers, yeah, you rolling with me. Aha, we the ones that's gonna run this town. And aha, I ain't never gonna let you down. Cause I'm a king, you a queen. Fix your crown, fix my crown. That's how we get down. Now hold me down, I hold you down. I love the way you activate your hips and throw your ass out. Got me wanting it so bad that I'm about to pass out. Roll the blunt, smoke till we pass out. In the glass house, cruising 180 on the freeway. Now watch me smash out. And loving you is wrong, well I don't wanna be right. You the one I wanna spend, yeah, the rest of my life. Looking you in your eye, telling you the truth. Kiss you on your forehead and say you got me, boo. Baby, all I need is you. My mind always on you. There ain't nothing I would do to get close to you. Baby, all I need is you. All my mind is on you. All I ever need is you. Cause all I ever need is you. How them niggas feel now? They see you with the real now. Them niggas tried to dust you off. I picked you up and dust you off and put your crown and set you up. Now get it. You not my bitch, you my queen though. We doing things they never seen before. We touch a road, then we double back. Get the money, split it down the middle. How they know about that? Level up, yeah, level up. Double up, then we double up. If it's war time, we gon' knuckle up. When we at home, that's when we gon' cuddle up. Making money on the road, that's another way. You told me we can get it, going state to state. But not illegal, yeah, the legal way. Properties and investments, yeah, that Geechee way. Loyalty, trust, consistency, what you get from me. I think we gon' do this for about a century. Tag your name on it for a memory. Now tag my name on it for eternity. Baby, all I need is you. Nothing I would do to get close to you. To get close to you, baby. All I need is you. All I ever need is you. All my mind is only you. All I need is only you. All tell me that it's mine. I give me all of yours, girl. Just tell me that it's mine. Tell me that it's mine, girl. Oh, tell me that it's mine, girl. Baby, all I need is you. My mind always on you. There ain't nothing I would do to get close to you. Baby, all I need is you. Oh, my mind is only you. All I ever need is you. 'Cause all I ever need is you.
We are out of here. Hey, listen, I want to thank all y'all tonight. Let me make sure Facebook hears me. I want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight. That's what I'm gonna start doing. I'm gonna start putting more music in the podcast, not so dry, not just shortcut. I know sometimes it gets a little serious here, it gets a little real tense sometimes, but I like talking about some real topics. Sometimes we talk about gender roles, we talk about females, we talk about males. Today was a current events because some stuff really happened. I like to address real topics. So this is your first time on the channel, and I love having you here. Thanks for the follow, DG Doggin. Hey, where you from, bro? If you're still in here, where you from? Hey, we're in Cali. You know, let me know where y'all from out there, man. Listen, we'll be here. I got to change my days. So normally I stream Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays and Saturdays. But you niggas is watching football on Mondays. I noticed that. So we're going to go Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Fridays. So we can't do Tuesdays, Mondays, or Thursdays because I'm watching football myself. And I was in here yesterday. So I'm going to tell you a story before we go. Oh, man. Hey, yeah. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you, T. I appreciate it. I was in here yesterday trying to stream, and I was tired, literally falling asleep midstream. I had to stop the stream. But what we are going to do, we're going to get out of here, and the music. Hey, I'm going to play some. I have a lot of music that I don't play. I really don't promote it. Like, I love doing music, but that chapter in my life is kind of like almost done. But I do have music people really don't listen to because I don't promote it enough to like actually do it. But hearing that song, I think I want to do a video to it one day. I don't know how, but I do. But I do want to say this, guys. Hey, you guys have a blessed day. We're going to end the stream. You guys have a blessed day. Follow me on YouTube for the full version of this. You can see it back, listen to it back, hear it back. Hey, y'all have a blessed day. Facebook, thank you, everyone. I'll see y'all later. Hey, share the video. Hey, Twitch finally got better at the end. Hey, shout out to Twitch, man. Hey.